I found it on Rhema Radio.
Hi friends, Weekly Sermons is now released every Wednesday and is called the Midweek Service. This week's sermon is from Elisha Sadvinder at New Covenant Community, entitled, He Makes All Things New. Look out for that. And now for this week's interview.
Welcome back. You're listening to Rhema Radio, the weekly podcast on faith, culture, music and more. This is Jason, and our guest today is a comedian. He started comedy in 1989 in the UK, and from the years 2000 to 2012, he has done over 40 shows in the Actors Studio and in Jaya 1 PJ Live Arts. On top of that, okay, and in parallel to that, he is also a pastor. He got his master's in divinity from MBS, and yes, he's a pastor of Soul Space Community Church in Oasis Square, Damansara. So welcome to the studio, Pastor Mun Toh.
Hi Jason.
Hi, Pastor. Yeah. So Pastor Mun Toh, you go with two names. One is Pastor Mun Toh, and also on stage, your name is called Monti.
Yes, I have a dichotomy of life, isn't it? Split personality, Jekyll and Hyde.
How did it start? I mean, how did this stage name? Was it something you decided up front?
The stage name was an accident. In 1999, when we both started, me and my friend Logendran, his name's Logendran, we were both in a situation where our organizations do not like us to be involved in this. You know, he's in the bank, so he's bound by the Bafia law. So
banker by day, comedian by night.
And myself I was with the travel industry, and my boss are not too keen to have a manager who is also a comedian. You know?
Well, is it because people think they cannot take you seriously, or is it because they think that they laugh too much all the time?
I think the first part is right. You know? They think that people will not take me seriously, and so we just changed. Mun Toh changed to Monti, and Logan changed to Logie.
Right.
And it got stuck from there onwards. And finally, we were still discovered by our bosses.
How did you start? I mean, how did you find out that, hey, you have a flair for this and this is something that you want to pursue in a serious way?
Oh, in 1989, I started in 1989 in England, Bournemouth. I went for an audition. I wanted to be a singer. But the guy said, no, we are looking for a comedian. Why don't you try comedy? So I said, I have never done it before. Yeah, but you'll be great. It's okay. I will guide you through. I will walk you through. So I said, okay, and I took the chance, and started as a comedian. But all the while, I always realized I am funny for some rhyme or reason. People always find me funny.
Everywhere you go, people you just bring the joy and the humor and the laughter with you.
Yeah, and I always believe, even from a very long time ago, that the purpose of my life, even before I was a believer, that is to bring joy to people's life. So maybe that is what God has implanted, as he says in Jeremiah chapter 31, isn't it? Verse 31, that he has implanted, the law in our hearts. So somehow we know.
How was that very first show in the UK? Was it what was the setting like? Was it
It was a summer cabaret. So we have a mixture of like a culture shock. There will be a mixture of dancers, singers, comedians. We have musicians, all sorts. So it's a mixture.
Okay.
So we do it during the summer for a few weeks, and that's it.
I've always considered the stand-up comedy one of the hardest discipline to do, because I mean, for other art forms, right, you don't need an immediate response. People can be internally touched, or they can say good things about it later on. But for comedy, it has to be immediate. It's either they laugh or they don't laugh. Yeah, and then once you don't laugh, then it's like it's like really awkward after that. Like.
Correct. It's either a kill or a bomb,
It's a kill or a bomb.
A kill, that means you hit it right that night, and bomb, that means you are finished,
Yeah. So we share with us your experience of the first few shows, and how you come up with your shows and content.
I mean, back in UK, I was guided. Okay, when I was not guided, one time I took my own chances. I got kicked off from stage. The rules are very simple.
For real?
The rules are very simple. As long as people laugh, you can stay on stage. So
and the crowd is like how many people?
It's like a full. It was in a pub in England, and was full house.
That's about what, 50, 60, 40.
Wow, then
you can't remember. It was dark.
But it was dark and full.
Okay.
And everybody was drunk.
Okay.
And when people are drunk, they are full house of comedians.
Right.
I lasted 1.5 minutes.
Oh.
So they, down. Okay, I'm out. That kind of thing.
How do you take that? I mean, as that kind of reaction, how does it, I'm sure it hurts the ego, but how does it?
Well, the fact is, I didn't forget it until today. So I'm sure it hurts somewhere.
Okay.
I can't remember where now, but definitely it shows that we have to work harder on our materials. That's all.
And how do you approach your material? Like, what kind of themes do you explore? How do you write your content?
Okay, I mean, there are many themes, of course, and if you draw a spider chart, you look at myself. So as a person, we have many parts. As a father, as a husband, and then as a son to my parents, that's my family side. Then, of course, working side, I'll be dealing with this person and that person, and this industry and that industry, travel, insurance, health, hospitals. So we take it. I will take one part and then we look at a theme, like an old folks home. I deal with old folks home. So we wrote one play called Plain Old Farts.
Okay. So even better made me laugh already.
So that is where we from there we just flow the stories,
I see. So your inspiration and your references are from life itself, I mean,
yes.
From your own different like you shared the spider chart. So it's from different aspects of life.
Yes.
And I guess that's where people relate to as well. Maybe listening to it, they also know they can identify with these themes, right?
Yeah. So which is also from the chart, I will know what audience and what client or what group of people we can cater to. So if I am in health, the chances are health, it will be great. I have an Indian friend, and my Indian friend has this wonderful saying, "I'm an Indian. All Indians are lawyers." So, and he wrote wonderful lawyers kind of stories. So. We also cater for the lawyers, the doctors.
Great. So, you've been listening to Pastor Mun Toh. When we come back, we'll listen more about how his journey has been as a comedian. Stay tuned.
Rhema Radio.
Hello everyone. Do you have a heart to reach the orang asli of Malaysia? Maybe you'd like to minister to them and be a blessing to their lives. Well, if you'd like to, visit us at www.1vm.net. That's One Voice Ministries.
Hi, I'm Marianne with Scripture Union, and the Bible verse I'd like to share with you today is Philippians 1 verse 21. For to me, to live is Christ, and to die is gain.
Rhema Radio.
And you're back with Pastor Mun Toh, and we are talking about comedy and humor in the church right now. So, Pastor Mun Toh, you are a stand-up comedian and also a pastor. How does that work? I mean, as your normal routine in a week, how does it look like?
I have I did one sermon, and one of the members came up to me. He said, "Pastor Mun Toh, this week are not very funny,
Oh, so they have an expectation of you to be funny every time.
I think the people generally wants to laugh. The people, they just want to laugh and have a lighter moment. But that is where we have to find the balance, between serious and what are things we can be light about. So we have to be very careful. I struggle a lot.
And because of, again, expectations, right? People expect you to be funny all the time.
Yeah.
And it can be something that's very stressful.
But that's the thing is, the members expect you to be funny all the time, but you are being watched by the leaders, and they'll tell you, "I try not to be so funny."
Right.
I'm not sure whether it's there is a concern that I will be taking the pulpit time into another dimension, or I'm make it much more engaging because I'm funny.
Right. So there's a balance you need to walk.
Yeah, we have to walk the balance. Yeah.
I myself personally, I am one of the best sermons that I recall are those that are humorous, but then the humor actually serves to share, to bring home a point. And I think because people, there's a genuine response. You laugh, and then boom, that's the impact, that's the message, that's the key word that is from the crux of the message, and then it just seals it.
Yes, it is true. In fact, I just watched Beauty and the Beast just the other day with my daughter. Just because of that special moment, everybody was so gay about
the live action one. Yeah. What do you think of that?
It was wonderful. There's nothing gay about it. In fact, it was a gay movie because it's happy. So there was this moment when Cogsworth, the clock, turned back to a man.
Yeah.
And he saw his wife, and when the wife ran towards him, he said, "Please turn me back into a clock." Now that explains, in that funny moment, his relationship with the wife.
Yeah.
In just that one line, So it's funny, humorous.
Yeah.
But you want, so humor works.
Right. So when you write your sermons, when you share your sermons, is it also an intentional thing that you want to put in a bit of element of humor?
Yes. But of course, in the next time when I come over, we talk about the science of humor. But yes, there is an intention, and you have to work on it. You have to work on it and make it work to support the message in the Bible, and not the Bible supporting the funniness.
The humor content of it.
Yeah, the Bible is full of humor, albeit a bit dark, but
Right.
there are a lot of funny humors.
Yeah, I agree. Because when you read the Bible, so if the words are put to life, I mean, you imagine it in a real setting, there are many humorous elements in it. Yeah, exactly, like what you shared.
Yeah, it is. It's, absolutely. I mean, I think the time may not permit here, but like John 14, when Jesus says he's going, I'm leaving now, I'm going back to my father's home, and now in my father's home there's many rooms. And at that moment, at that point, nobody knows what he meant, because everybody knew his father was Joseph.
Right.
Okay, his house, hello, I've been there before, It's a small house, and you see there are many rooms, and you're going to bring us to go there. Okay, we know we are going to Galilee, but we are home. So, there is you can see in the mind playing in the disciples' minds.
Yeah.
What is this he is talking about?
Yeah. And I think, there are many moments, when Jesus' stories as well, like how he dealing with his disciples, and then how they respond to him, and how he responds to them.
Yeah.
There are many humorous moments, like you said.
Definitely the Gospels are full of humorous moments, and the one I like was when Jesus told the blind man, because you are blind, now you see, and tell the Pharisees, because you see, now you are blind. Okay. So now here's that line is funny, because people don't like authorities, and the poor blind guy who has been questioned up and down, and Jesus here, the revered divine rabbi, revered rabbi, says that he's blind, he can see, and he tell the guy who just questioned me, because you see, you are blind, to that blind man. And all the rest of the people listening there, it's very funny, And that is where we draw the funniness out of it from the message itself, not putting extra there.
So I'm sure you feel that even for pastors, their different approach of preaching the sermon is different. Pastors have different ways of approaching it, and I guess for those that use humor, I think you can relate to that more, or you feel a bit more. There's a bit more impact there, right, isn't it?
Yeah, and humors are used according to Joseph Baskin,
right,
from Boston University. Humor is used to deal with sensitive and tough issues that we call it in the present form, it's very hard to do. So you need to deal with issues directly, but only humor can do that. So you need humor.
And I also understand that Malaysians, that generally that's how they deal with crisis, or that's how they deal with tough situations. Even in their own livelihood, or in the government, whatever it is, humor is the thing that they all have the common ground. Like doesn't matter what race you are, doesn't matter what your background, humor is what binds us, because we can laugh about it.
Yeah, because there is a philosophy behind the comedy which says, today's tragedy is tomorrow's comedy.
Okay, so it's content, it's material for future comedy shows as well.
It is. Chernobyl, 20 over years ago, when it happened, just a few weeks later, they have these jokes about the Chernobyl, the nuclear plant.
And it's quite a serious topic.
It was in Russia. It happened in Russia.
Chernobyl,
and the jokes came out. Well, what has Freda and glows in the dark? Chicken Kiev. So the kind of jokes start coming out, So
some people may say, how soon is too soon? Sometimes it's too soon.
People need humor to deal with their sadness. One of the reason why people laugh is because they are sad. And they do not know how to deal with the sadness except to laugh, because they've reached a stage of low which you can't go any lower anymore. Any lower, you have to jump off the cliff, So, and they're not going to jump off the cliff. So, laughter is the only way to deal with a very, very, very sad situation.
Okay. You've been listening to Pastor Mun Toh, and when we come back, we will talk more about his work, his ministry, and his life.
Rhema Radio.
Hi, did God do something great in your life today?
Or do you have a God story you want to tell someone?
Send us your story at Christianity Malaysia.
That's right. The story you share might just be the word that someone out there needs to hear.
Email to editor@christianitymalaysia.com.
Hi, I'm Lee Wee Min with Focus on the Family, Malaysia. I'd like to offer a prayer for families in Malaysia. Our Father, we come before your presence and thank you for Malaysia, a land that you have given us. We thank you, Lord, for the many families that is being represented in Malaysia, from all race, creed, and religion. Our prayer, O God, is that the families in Malaysia would represent the Trinity, whereby we would exist with intimacy, with unity, with strong communication. And Lord, we just want to pray that our families in Malaysia would be strong and stable, would be able to face the onslaught of the challenges in life. And that, Lord, we want to pray that families in Malaysia may come to know the Lord Jesus Christ, who would be able to bind them together and would be able to strengthen them. Lord, this is ask and pray in Jesus' precious name.
Rhema Radio.
Welcome back, and you're with Pastor Mun Toh, and we are talking about humor in the church. So, Pastor, how do you think God views humor?
Now, I was searching for many times whether God laughs or not. I mean, Jesus definitely rejoiced, at the sending out of the 72. But when laughter was mentioned in the Bible, in the Psalms 59, was very dark. The day God will laugh, at your punishment that He administered to you. That in paraphrase, sorry. Sure. So laughter. The few laughter that mentioned in the Bible when God laughs is not very nice. But again, we are made in the image of God.
Yeah.
Okay, God rejoiced. And in Genesis chapter 1, God look at His creation and said, it is very good. So God do enjoy things. Now, how God laughs, we don't know. But maybe I use this story to share with you. I perform in front of sultans and agongs. And royalties do not behave the same as us commoners. When I perform for the Sultan of Pahang, he don't laugh. He just slap on the table. The more funny you are, the harder he bang the table. Dum, 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 dum. He likes a joke. Dum, 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 dum.
Interesting.
So now, the agong, the agong, when I did it for him in way back in 2011, when he just was installed, the crowd could be laughing, but I saw his face there. He wasn't stern, but just like a bit of a Mona Lisa kind of smile. A little twitch around the...
That's smirk, all. Almost like a smirk, is it?
Almost like a smirk. But yeah, but royalties do not behave like commoners.
Right.
I believe, likewise, even how much they enjoy, they don't behave the same. I think God, His behavior is very different from us human beings. He rejoices. He's very happy. But He doesn't show it in the way that His creation does, because He's a royal king, And
people's expressions of even appreciation of humor is different one to another.
Yes. Yeah. That's for sure.
Would you say that humor diffuses a scenario, or maybe even when sharing the gospel? I mean, for example, if you use humor, people they let their guard down. They feel a bit more, they can connect with you, they can talk to you, and then they are more receptive to what you want to share.
Yes. I have a team called a J Show team where the group of multi-denominations.
J what?
J Show.
J Show.
Yeah. It's an evangelistic team where we do in open space and we use humor. And we share our story and let our stories go through.
So like testimonies by way of humor.
And then followed by songs,
Oh, songs as well. Okay.
We don't say purposely to write funny stories. We tell people to tell your stories because your stories, when you tell it, is always funny. And somehow people will see it. And if you tell it honestly, it works.
Okay. So for maybe aspiring comedians out there, and people who are wanting to maybe explore this aspect of humor in their own life, and maybe they like you sense that people find me funny lah. I want to try doing this. What would your advice be to them?
Okay. I struggle a lot, okay, when it comes to this.
So be prepared to struggle. Be prepared to face hard days first.
Well, good point. Yeah, I think whoever wants to think about this one, I would use this thought for you. Okay. Anyone who wants to be a comedian, or any artist for that matter, begins with this baseline. This baseline says, what I am doing, is it glorifying God? No? Am I glorifying God when I'm doing this? I think that is very important. And of course, the Westminster Shorter Catechism says, our chief ends of man is to glorify God and enjoy Him forever. So use that as a base and measure all our things. Use that to measure all our materials. And God will speak to you. In fact, God did not stop me from doing comedy when I quit all my jobs for seminary. November 2011. I told God I'm going to quit comedy if I cannot keep it clean. Now, God was very strange. I immediately, that was during a show. I said, God, I'm going to quit comedy. For you, I would quit. And within an hour, a friend of mine who is helping us to promote our shows said, okay, we love, I love what you do. Now, I can see there are going to be more shows for you. Just keep your comedy clean. He said, exactly answer my prayer. So God did not stop my comedy. He just wanted me to keep it clean to glorify Him. So
you almost stopped. What pushed you to that place where you wanted to just to not be Monti, the stage comedian anymore?
Well, I was going to Bible seminary,
I see.
And I thought, sometimes.
So you thought it's one or the other?
It's it's either going to be a pastor or not a comedian anymore. Yeah, it was going to be so clear cut. But today, of course, I found peace to be both.
Okay. So again, for aspiring comedians, you shared earlier to me before we started recording that there's a space for them to
definitely
to do that.
Oh yeah, we have a space called Culture Shock. It is located in two places. One is one MK, one Monkera. The other one is in Oasis Village, Aradamansara. We have every month in both places we have a show called Culture Shock where we invite indie bands, singer-songwriters, poets, comedians, storyteller to come and take part, and showcase what you do and practice what you have written. So,
how can they be part of that? Like, was there an audition, or do they write to you?
Yeah, just PM me as usual. Shall I mention my phone number then? Well, you can contact me at 016-208-5369, or you look for me in Facebook under Mun Toh or Monti.
Mun Toh meaning, how do you spell that?
Muntoh.
Yeah, on Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook or Monti. So I put two names there in case I'm not sure who I am.
So maybe is it two different accounts or the same account?
Same account.
Oh, I thought you have different accounts. That one of them, if they want to look to you in the capacity of a pastor, they look for Mun Toh, but in the capacity of a comedian, they look for Monti.
It did cross my mind, but
split personality there.
Yeah, but now I've made peace. It's still the same person.
Okay.
Whichever you call.
That's great. Thanks for being with us today. You've been listening to Pastor Mun Toh, also known as Monti, to share about his life in comedy and also as a pastor. You've been listening to Rhema Radio, weekly podcast on faith, culture, music, and more. This is Jason signing off.
It's a story that's written in your plan. And will I make it in the end? Your promise to me, by faith alone I can. The road ahead seems like an endless quest. Each step I take, I know he'll end ahead. Oh Lord, I need till the very end. So Lord, reach out your hand and take me on to a place in your loving embrace of love. Your wonderful love, oh Lord, just reach down inside till I break down and cry for your love. Just more of your wonderful love.
My life is in your hands. It's a story that's written in your plan. And will I make it in the end? Your promise to me, by faith alone I can. The road ahead seems like an endless quest. Each step I take, I know He'll lend a hand. Oh Lord, I need it till the very end. So Lord, reach out your hand and take me on to a place in your loving embrace of love. Your wonderful love, oh Lord, just reach down inside till I break down and cry for your
ahead seems like an endless quest.
Each step I take, I know He'll more than lend a hand.
Ooh, Lord, I need you till the very end.
So Lord, reach out your hand. Take me on to your place.
Lord, just take me on to your wonderful love.
Lord, just reach down inside till I break down and cry.
Just more of your
wonderful love.
This segment features music by Patrick Leong and Juwita Suwito. This episode was recorded, edited and mixed by Moses Chan at Prodio Studio. Do connect with us at facebook.com/rhemarad.10. Comment, like and share our weekly shows so we can do more. We look forward to hearing from you. God bless!
Rhema Radio is a non-profit initiative by the Love Malaysia Media Project. Time, talent and treasure is put into creating the content you listen to. Your support enables us to keep this going and expand further. Log on to www.rhemarad.io/support to find out how you can partner with us in creating value-adding content that ministers to the masses. Once again, that's www.rhemarad.io/support. Let's get the word out there.
I found it on Rhema Radio.